Eric Waldstein, Pocono Township. I am writing to you this evening to put my frustration and anger into public record. There have been numerous occasions in the past where instances of bullying and harassment have been brought to the attention of this district, only to watch the district, whose vision is to create a culture of achievement, improve student performance, maintain school safety, and promote strong character, fail them. You have failed to prepare these students for tomorrow's challenges and opportunities. You have only added more frustration, mental anguish, and distress. With knowledge of a number of other incidents going on presently, I am appalled at what I am hearing and seeing. I ask Pocono Mountain School District administrators, what are you doing to keep our kids safe? Why do you continue to turn a blind eye? Why are you harboring a culture of harassment, bullying, and mental anguish? I have stood with you in the past, Dr. Robinson, and shared your frustrations, most recently during the NAACP district-wide roundtable on bullying, where I was, I believe, the only parent in the audience. Today, I ask for your action. The programs currently used at PMSD are simply not working. There have been too many instances to chalk it up to a single bad apple. Our children deserve better. What I'm asking for is a change in the district's policies, change in the district's handling of harassment and bullying, change in how it's reported, change in how help remediation to both parties is given and received, change in behaviors and acknowledgement. I think we all can agree that our children deserve this and more. I would like the community at large to be made aware of what, if any, changes you and your team will make and how it will be facilitated. I would like to be able to see, touch, and feel those changes, and would love to be able to say that parents cried out for action and the district acknowledged and responded in kind. If this is met with a head in the sand, actionless response, please understand that I'm willing to take the matters into my own hands and use whatever resources are at my disposal. This includes filing a mandatory report with the PA Department of Education, using an outside organization to help bring awareness and change, such as public justice, file a complaint against the district with the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights, contact the local press. Please do not take this as a threat, as it is not intended that way. I am simply advocating, as I have always done for my child, as well as all children that are within your buildings and lives you greatly impact. I appreciate you reading this, and I look forward to change. I thought a long time about, after we received this email, about how to respond to this, because I've been with the district for 15 years. And I have to say, over those 15 years, I've seen our administrative team work very hard on any to investigate any bullying complaint and any allegations of harassment. When there is an investigation and the investigation is complete, consequences are applied to the situation and appropriate actions are taken. What happens is many times parents think nothing is being done because they do not have a right to know the actions taken with other people's children. So it's a very frustrating situation. Mr. Waldstein, I personally checked with the building principals to make sure to see if maybe you had filed a complaint or had a concern with your own child. And I'm unaware of any of those complaints taking place. Our teams follow up with students periodically after there is a bullying or harassment complaint investigation to make sure that things are still going well and that there isn't a repeat of earlier behavior and conflict. But bullying isn't just a school problem. Oftentimes bullying behavior takes place in the communities and over social media, where the courts have been quite clear that school districts cannot reach out into those communities and apply consequences and discipline to students for their behaviors that take place outside of school grounds and do not take place at school-sponsored events. It's very frustrating to hear statements that say that we're just adding more frustration, mental anguish, and distress to students because we work so hard every day to try to provide the supports that students need. We never turn a blind eye to any reported concern presented to the buildings. And I can say that with assurances because I am usually involved in the discussions and see the actions that are taking place. It's unfortunate that bullying happens. We would like to see that there is never any bullying in the district, but we don't have just one program dealing with bullying. Bullying prevention efforts are threaded throughout our curriculum and throughout all of the initiatives we have with students. Does bullying happen in Pocono Mountain School District schools just as it happens in other schools? Absolutely. Do we bury our head in the sand and think it doesn't occur? No, I think that's an unfair accusation. Certainly, we have a team that will look at additional bullying prevention efforts as we move forward. But some of the language used is really just very off-putting, and I understand bullying is a very emotional issue, but the more we can work together and look at the things that we are providing and we are doing and seeing if we can supplement those things, I think that's a helpful approach. To say we're completely failing when it comes to bullying, the recent PAYS data that we have, the preliminary PAYS data, it doesn't substantiate that. In fact, most of the PAYS data that we received, and that's a Pennsylvania youth survey that our 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th graders completed last year. In most of the grades, the results show that in our the reported incidents of bullying of students who felt they were bullied in the last year, it actually declined from the 2019 and 2017 surveys significantly in some of those grades. Where we have a real concern is with the cyberbullying, because we're showing that more 6th and 10th graders are reporting that they're experiencing cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is one of our toughest issues to deal with because it takes place many times outside of our schools. And it's very hard at times to even figure out who is doing the bullying. So we certainly need a whole community approach to dealing with that. I'm sorry I was so long-winded here with this, but it's a very emotional issue for all of us because we do work so hard at it, and we know that some students are suffering at the hands of others. But to say that we're failing everyone and we're not doing anything that's worthwhile, I just don't think that's a fair analysis of what's going on in the district. Dr. Robinson, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
No, but I think, Wendy, in future reports and instructional reports, we've certainly done this in the past, but I know Dr. DeLay had to leave, but we can continue to highlight all of the programs and all the things that we do within our curriculum. I think the most frustrating part as a superintendent, I'm sitting here listening to this comment, but yet Mr. Waldstein has not contacted my office, not contacted my team. I do not have any reports at all in regard to this situation or these comments. So it is a bit frustrating. We take pride, myself as a superintendent, my building administrator, and my team. If something is reported to us, we act on it. We find out what's going on and we take the appropriate action. So we do have a process in place, but we have to be trusted to be able to be part of the process. I can't entertain myself in social media conversations like an ambulance chaser. I have to know if something is wrong. I'm not going to social media for the answer. If someone needs to know the answer about the Pocono Mountain School District, they need to contact the superintendent or contact someone as part of my team. That's where the true answer is going to come from. And that's where we're going to be able to solve the problems or any concerns that our parents and our community would have. But to date, Mr. Waldstein has not contacted my office, nor do I have a report. I've checked in the schools that his children are in. There's no reports there as well. So I need to know exactly what the issue is so that we can entertain how we can solve it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next email was from Carolyn Barish.